What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another great show for you. Another one that was really in the back of my mind that I've always been wondering about. When I take a look in the museum and I see this particular collection of G.I. Joes. This is my my foreign G.I. Joe foreign soldiers collection. There's roughly, I believe there's 6. Yes, there's 6 of them. There's one that I didn't put on the stage. These are some of my favorite ones, though, and they will definitely serve the purpose for our video today. Guys, I just want to getting past the elephant in the room that HASBRO simply will not bring back the 12-inch G.I. Joe. I don't want to discuss that as much as I want to discuss a missed opportunity by HASBRO with this particular collection. I was talking to a fellow G.I. Joe collector, and he had some fantastic points on the missed opportunity by HASBRO, and this was years ago, the early 2000s, 2000, 2001, when these figures were first released to the public. I bought all of mine from Toys R Us right around 2000, the year 2000 and 2001. And I thought that HASBRO was really on to something. Back in the early years of G.I. Joe, back in the mid-1960s, HASBRO released the Foreign Soldiers collection. And they were fantastic. Today, they garner a lot of attention from the collecting community. They're very hard to obtain in fantastic condition, any type of condition, actually. And when HASBRO decided to bring these guys back out, or I should say another version of these guys, for the G.I. Joe toy line, I thought it was fantastic. But looking back on it now, for whatever reasons, and there's a lot of reasons, the 9/11 incident was a big reason why the Israeli Defense Force soldier, from what I'm being told, wasn't released on time. HASBRO felt it was poor timing due to the tragedy, and which made sense. But that was one soldier. They released the World War II Japanese Zero pilot, which is one of my favorites. The design of this figure, everything, and it came with a ton of equipment, accessories, weapons, you name it. But after 2001, HASBRO stopped producing these figures. They just stopped producing these figures. I bought this Russian infantry soldier on my birthday years ago. I mean, it was, I want to say around 2001. And I'm doing this video. I did research and found very little by way of reason why HASBRO would not continue this toy line. So we are Our lines are open to Hasbro's executives, development, research and development, whoever had anything to do with designing the Foreign Soldiers collection line. Let us know. Leave a comment underneath this video. We would love to know, why did Hasbro decide to get away from this toy line? I thought years ago that this was a fantastic idea, because outside of the US, to be able to market these toys to different parts of the world was a fantastic idea. You have collectors all over the world that are huge G.I. Joe fans, Action Man fans, you name it. So I thought by Hasbro, by creating this toy line, I thought that was their intent. But somewhere along the line, without any warning or any type of explanation, Hasbro stopped producing these figures. You're looking at here, I'll bring this guy in a little bit. This is our Foreign Soldiers collection, the World War I Germany Infantry Senior Corporal. This was the last figure that was supposed to come out, and I heard 2 or 3 different versions of why this figure is so hard to find today. The first and most obvious version was because he was the last one, and the numbers for this figure, they didn't produce a lot of these figures. So not a high run number of this figure. That was the first explanation. The second one was that the company was just starting the process of deciding to move away from G.I. Joe, from producing 12-inch G.I. Joe figures. And the third reason was the fact that these figures did not sell very well. I struggle with the third part, because I thought that these figures would sell well, because you're talking about an international fan base that that G.I. Joe has. And when you're talking about different soldiers of the world, you're going to connect with tons of collectors from all over the world. So the third explanation didn't hold a lot of water for me. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're hanging out down here on a Saturday in the museum, and we're just trying to wrap our minds around something that I've been thinking about for years, decades. Why did Hasbro pull the plug on a toy line like the Foreign Soldiers collection that we're looking at right now, that seemed to have mass appeal? Great action figures, great weapons and accessories, great eye candy, and to pull the plug on these figures after just 6 figures were produced is mind-boggling. And that's what we're trying to figure out today. Your thoughts, guys, your opinions, we would like to hear. Let us know in the comment section right underneath this video. We would love to strike up a conversation with you and find out what happened with this toy line. Looking at our modern day Israeli Defense Force soldier right here. Fantastic. Looks great. Let's take another look at our Zero pilot, our Japanese World War II Japanese Zero pilot. Love the high, tall boots that he had on. The flight suit was fantastic. Was really, like I said, really excited to find this figure. Hard to find this figure. This figure was very difficult to find in Toys R Us. Don't ask me why. Couldn't tell you why he was hard to find. Obviously, he was popular. Maybe, once again, maybe they didn't make a lot of numbers of him. Maybe there just weren't a lot of this particular figure, but very difficult to find. A lot of these figures still command decent money on the secondary market. Some more than others. Some more than others. The World War II that we're looking right here, World War II German Panzer Tank Sergeant Major, commands a little bit more, along with our World War I Germany Infantry Senior Corporal, practically because he was the last one, and I believe a low number of run number was made of this guy. Look at that helmet. The G.I. Joe Collectors Club was selling this guy in shipping bags. They weren't in boxes. That's how difficult it is to find this guy in his own box. The G.I. Joe Club got a certain amount of these figures of the German Infantry Senior Corporal. Got a few of these guys in, but they were in the poly bags. So making it really tough to get these guys. But we were very fortunate to actually find one in his box, mint in box. And you would think he would be my favorite because he's like so tough to find. But he's really not. I'm happy. Make no mistake. I'm extremely happy that I have this figure. Extremely happy. But he's not one of my favorites. Not one of my favorites. I love the fact that he's in the collection, in our museum collection. But the German Panzer Tank Sergeant Major is one of my favorites. The World War II Russian, right here, Russian infantry soldier is one of my all-time favorites. And the Zero pilot is one of my favorites. Which one is your favorite? Do you remember this toy line? We just want to get the conversation started about this particular toy line. Do you have any of these guys in your G.I. Joe collection? Let us know. You know the routine, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. God bless. And keep collecting.